because we don't create fake FOMO and we don't create fake scarcity. But what we are saying is, if this resonates with you, if you're someone that's building a business, growing, pushing yourself to new limits, this is what you need. A community of folks that are there for you, that reduce the level of loneliness, the solution that you need when you're in a funk, you're in a jam, and a resource that you wish you had 6 months ago, 6 days ago, 6 minutes ago. Impact Effect Community is something I've poured my entire life's work into and will continue to do so for the members of the community. And that bonus that you just saw on the screen, we're going to give you a business audit. We're going to do a strategy session. We're going to build out a content plan. That right there is like $5,000. And we're also going to discount the monthly membership to save you $600 a year. So check out impacteffectcommunity.com. Check out what we got rocking and rolling. This is the launch live day, baby. Let's go. Let's create impact together. Come on. Woo.
I love that. Let's go. All right. Let's get ready. All right. Our next guest. Are you good to go? Brock, are you good? Well, everybody knows it's Brock because we promoted it as Brock. All right, I'm going to throw up your intro. Hold on one second. I'm great at these cues, everybody. It's so far down here. Hold on. Give me a minute. And intro music. All right. Our next guest went from coaching teams to closing deals, proving love languages and grit rewrite real estate legacies. Please welcome family first strategist, Brock Zevon.
Wow, this is I've never on this side of the table. This is pretty cool over here. We got the music going, we got announcements. I feel like I'm really on a radio show. I'm usually the host, so it's pretty cool to be on this side of the table.
Well, Brock, it's so nice to meet you. We've never met. And I was reading all about you.
Every morning I see you guys. You guys are like, Jim's now live. Right? There's Rachel. I'm like, I better heart it, better like it, make it like good morning.
Well, thank you for the support. We appreciate it. But you also have your own incredible community that you show up for every day as well. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and why you even thought, community, why is this so important?
So, yes.
I can't hear you, Brock. You got your mic on?
Hold on. Can you hear me? I was doing so good.
It just sounds like ambient noise. It's not mic noise. Does that make sense? Like it's through the laptop and not through the mic?
Hold on.
Just switch your settings. It's fine.
Speaking of Brock's show, he just had some amazing guests on recently. Jim Moore. No, just kidding. No. He had some amazing guests, some artists. He had Amberly Lago on talking about joy and happiness. Brock really has grown this show. So if you are up early and you listen to Jim and Rachel for Rise and Energize, I would highly advise you to pop over right after and check out Brock's morning show. It has been an amazing blessing to me. It's grown our friendship. I've met so many people through it. I've spoken on stage with some of these people. So what he's doing in building Monday through Friday and doing lives and helping with mindset, it's an amazing thing that he does. So that's why I'm so excited to talk to Brock today about community and what he's seeing and how he's showing up and impacting others. Because at the end of the day, Brock focuses on real estate. Brock's building massive teams in the real estate industry, and the folks that are aligning with that are amazing. But if you're not a real estate agent, or if you're not someone who is seeking to be on Brock's team or spend more time with him, you can still learn a ton of information from his show. And I want to make that very clear, because I believe that what he's doing isn't just for real estate agents. It's for the better of the world and the greater good of those folks just grinding and hustling, especially those solopreneurs,
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Can you hear me better?
Yeah,
it's fine. It's just computer audio. You'll be fine.
Okay. All right. I've been like sweating over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even get this together here. Jim's never gonna invite me on. He's talking really nice about me, and I'm just like,
I know. If it was your show, your mic would work, right, Brock?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's how it normally on Mondays it's craziness because my kid Bryce is on my computer and it's completely discombobulated. So but that's the real world, right? For that's what you gotta deal with the kids. So but thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, my show I've been doing it for 5 years. We do not roughly, but 255 episodes every year. So we're getting close to the 1,500 mark. But it all started literally. I am a 9-year recovering alcoholic. And if I could make stupid bonehead decisions every day by picking up a drink, I can do something good every day and influence people in a positive way. So we literally do it even on holidays, on Christmas, on Easter. Well, not on Easter because it's on a Sunday, but Monday through Friday, 8:15 Eastern time. And I actually almost was going to cancel the show this past Thanksgiving. I was running dry. It was a long run. And when you get towards the end of the year, you're just like, I don't know if I want to do this next year. Like, this is hard to do. Like, that's why I'm very impressed with you all and seeing you guys every morning. The hardest part is showing up. Every single morning, showing up and being like, and yes, we want to be authentic, but you also got to bring energy when you're a host. You can't be like, all right, guys, so I'm really excited about having us today on the show. Like, you can't do that. So you got to put away all what you got on the counter, put it up in the shelf and be like, I'm ready to go today. I'm ready to rock and roll. And my daughter, who's 12, is, sometimes right over here nipping in my ear. Dad, when are we going to school? Dad, where's my water bottle? Dad, do I have my soccer uniform? But that's the real world that we live in. And when Jim says the things that he says, it's just, you don't know who you're impacting. And so it's cool, I guess would be the way they said. I'm 46, so I could say that. Like, that was a cool word to say back then. But like, it's cool to hear that you make an impact on people's lives, because there's sometimes where you're like, why am I even doing this? Like, does it really even matter? Do they really even care if I show up? Like, I just trying to get through the day, for crying out loud. But it is in those moments. And so, we have a saying that every day that ends in Y is an opportunity. And, we want to be able to do that to the best of our abilities. Hey, Rosario. I try to share it, Jim. I'm really trying over here. I was like, I try to share it on my Facebook. Like, Jim knows me very well now. He's not very articulate in the social media world at all. Like, I just do what I'm told. And he's like, you got it. You can make it StreamYard go live on your thing. So I was like trying to do it. And, but yeah, that's where the show really started. And to be honest with you, Rachel, it started with just one person. It was me on a phone call.
And that's generally how it starts too, though, Brock. So like, talk about, because I call it creating in the dark. At first, when you don't know who's listening or watching, does that make sense? You're creating in the dark, but you kept going and you showed up for yourself in the beginning. How did that go from like one person to the thousands now? And how does that feel to be on this end of it?
It feels very, I sometimes just like when unfortunately, I know this is a bad analogy, but a really good friend of mine, his father passed. And he said, like, his father passed for quite, several days now. And he even said, he's like, I don't think it hit me yet. And so I would say and echo that, like, it hasn't really hit me yet, because I don't feel like I'm doing anything different, because it's been such a normal part of my life of just getting up and 8:15, I got to be on a show. But it started with discipline. It started with those little things. Like, next week I'm on spring break. So guess what? I'm going to be on the show on the beach, but I'll still show up and still doing that. So, it has to be value of or not value, but overcoming excuses, really. And mine's my kids. My kids are my everything. because I almost had them taken from me from DSS because some person didn't like what I was doing and they got mad at me. And there's some evil people in this world. And one of the things I was sharing on my podcast show the other day is the devil comes in different forms of distractions. And they typically come from loved ones. They come from disguised people that we'd be like, wait a minute, why are you saying that to me? You're supposed to be in my circle. I can't, but it's just the devil disguised. And once you can understand that and filter through it, that being tired is just a disguise. Having a headache, a stomach ache. Yes, these are physical things, but guess what? You can overcome them. 100% of my greatest, darkest, challenging days, I've overcome. God proved it. I'm here today. So it's the same capacity of how we look at it and how it's presented inside of our head and how we filter it is such an important ingredient. So I just have that mindset that like, you're not going to take my kids away. And it might sound silly, like, well, Brock, by you not, but no, it's the littlest things that will set the tone for you to do something stupid, because one drink could lead to a problem for me. One missed phone call, not showing up on Jim when he's coaching me. Like there's many times I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It's a Friday at 3:00 and I'm just like, oh, damn. All right. I got to go to Jim's thing. And he like teaches me more things that I can. I'm like, my head's on overload when I talk social media now. Jimmy, be proud of me. We had a flyer, Rachel, that was sent to me, and I'm like, guys, that's not brand. That is not on brand. That is not the supposed to way. It's supposed to be. The colors, it's too busy. We got to make this look like this. And who the hell is it for? I don't even know. This is supposed to be a real estate agent. Doesn't even say it. They were laughing at me. Kind of, but I learned. That's how you learn. I mean, that's you absorb it, you accept your failures, and you move on. And I don't know if I answered your question, Rachel, but that's what came to my head.
No, that was fine. I think what I'm picking up on too is just number one, you show up for yourself. It's not just for the community, but you're showing up for yourself. That first and foremost. And then number two, consistency is key. I'm sure your very first show wasn't the best show ever, probably nowhere near where it is now after almost 1,500 shows. But you showed up and consistent. You were consistent. You were consistent. You were consistent. What do you explain to people when they see you or they meet you and they're like, oh my God, you're the morning show guy. Like you're amazing and perfect and all these wonderful things. How do you connect with them to be like, no, like I'm just a person?
Well, relatability, hearing your who we are. Careful with that microphone, Jim.
I just almost chipped a tooth. You guys saw that?
Yeah.
They call me Chippy Morris over here now.
You never know what's going to happen here. Consistency is obviously a key ingredient. What do I lost track of my thought process. What was you wanted to know how I stay consistent? What was your question? I'm sorry.
Well, just number one, consistency is key, but also when people come up to you and basically want to do what you're doing, how do you explain to them, like, it's not, I didn't just turn a camera on one day and then grew this audience in like hours. It took years.
So yeah. Okay. Now I'm there. The microphone got me, but I'm right back. I'm right back, Jim. I'm right back. It comes into play. I always tell people it's not what I've done. I mean, it's not what I'm doing. It's what I did. Are you willing to do what I did to get to this point? And I actually learned that from John Maxwell. And I'm coached by John Maxwell. And I went down to Orlando to his convention. And I remember him saying that. I remember him vividly saying, it's not what I'm doing today. It's what I've done the last 20 years. Are you willing to do that? See, many people want to do a podcast show, but they're not willing to spend the money for editing, to have virtual assistants. Amazing team I have 5 virtual assistants, and they're amazing, but it costs money. It costs time working with them for them to understand me. When I want things to hit the screen, when things are come off the screen, how you edit, doing different things. We just bought, I got this new thing I got to work with Jim on, but like new equipment to be able to buy when you're doing this type of stuff. It is the day in and day out of doing it, but really just becomes down to, I'd say, especially when people have kids. I always say, do you have tough days with your kids? Do you have long nights with your kids? Do you have these situations? Are the kids sick? Your kids puke in your car? Your kids, want money? Kids came back home crying because their boyfriend broke up with them. Came because they didn't make the team. But you still got to show up. You don't say like, hey, I can't bother. Don't bother with me right now. I can't return them. Be like, you know what, doctor? I know you delivered the baby. Yeah, this was 5 years ago, but he's terrible. Like, I got to return him. Like, you're not going to do it. So what happens is that you become a connecting force to them to understand, like, I'm a normal human being like you. I don't return my kids, and you're not going to return your life. You're going to fight through it. You're going to figure out a way to do it. Hence my podcast, Figure It Out Friday. But that's what it is. And then you just become really relatable to them, that I go through the same challenges that they do. And that's what makes it, I feel, very impactful with them, is they really start to understand who I am. And it's like, that's just, thank you, Rosario.
Look at that. It's the proof's in the pudding, folks. Come on now. Check that comment out. Just came in.
So like, those are the things that really take place.
Brock, for your journey with the show, your journey with your real estate empire, and I say empire because this guy's just, he is growing at a rapid rate, and doing all types of different things. With all that to be said, you've built the comeback from your setback with alcohol. What do you say to the person who may not have had a substance abuse problem, but they're struggling with mindset, or they're struggling with family, or they're going through a divorce, or, they've got all these things outside of business, outside of work, outside of making money and growing their company? What do you say to that person?
Jim, why do you have to give everybody my resume? I mean, you have to tell them everything, just one of the pieces. But many times they ask, like, what made you become a life coach? And I won't curse because it's not my show, but like, just a lot of stuff happens to you, and you have to overcome them in some capacity, in some way. And unfortunately, but fortunately, God put a lot of problems on my plate for me to overcome. And so what do I say to those people? The bottom of the barrel is not fun, and it's not very crowded. And you learn about yourself. Learning about yourself is an inside job. There's no other person you can give the job to. You can't, go to and put it in Indeed and say, anybody want to work on Brock? It's paying $20 an hour. It's like, it's not going to happen. It's an inside job, and it starts with recognizing yourself. So when people lack mindset, to me, it's just a season. It's just a season that they're going through. And how long are you willing to go through your season is going to be up to you. Like, I know that whatever problem I have, eventually I will get over it. To this day, somebody can prove me wrong on this show. I don't care. You can call me up and prove me wrong. I've never seen a hurricane last an entire year. I've never seen a hurricane last in one spot more than a week. I mean, there's some slow moving hurricanes, but I've never seen a barometer or meteorologist say, guys, the hurricane just stopped. It's just right over Miami, and it looks like it's going to stay there for a while. It always moves in some direction or some way. So do you have the strength and endurance and abundance to be able to continue to move forward no matter what? Because it will clear up. It's just, are you willing, or what excuse are you willing to let go to grab onto that, to gravitate it, to be able to push forward? And everybody's different. If I ask Rachel and Jim and whoever else is watching this show and watches the recording, you all, if you really look at yourself in the mirror and say, what the hell makes me get up today? What is going to make me fight more than the other person who wants to do a podcast show, who wants to get a deal, who has some other challenge? What is it? And you really have to dive deeper into yourself. And so I really try to be as relatable as I possibly can. And most of the time, what really happens, Jim, is they want to hear my story first. When people are in debt and they tell me their IRS debt, and I say, well, tell me how much debt you're in so we know what to work on. Well, Brock, you just don't understand. It's been a little bit. How about this? Did the sheriff come to your house, knock on your door, and tell you that if you don't get this taken care of, that the next time you come, I'm going to have to arrest you? All while your son is sitting next to you, standing there saying, Dad, why is the police officer there? And you open it up, it's $155,000 in IRS debt because I didn't pay my taxes for 4 years. Are you in that situation, bud? Oh, no, not at all. It was just $7,000. I'm like, okay. So let's have a conversation then.
You just brought me back to a conversation with a good friend last week, and we're having a cup of coffee, and he's like, dude, my life is so bad and it's miserable and this is happening and I got like $8,000 in debt. And I was like, I had 112 after one event. And he's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, dude, like you'll pay back the 8 or 9 grand, you know, like you'll be fine. Like it's just perspective. And it's just understanding that, again, you're not alone in this. Like we can talk about it, man. Like, let's put together a plan. You know, I've paid off like $80,000 of that debt. I'm still not back to zero, but like I'm still alive. I'm still smiling. I'm still here. I'm still launching businesses. I'm still helping people. I'm still, you know, educating myself and learning and building deep connection and I'm happy. And I'm happy. So at the end of the day, 5 grand, 7 grand, 75, 80, 100, 200. It's just a number, right? A good friend of mine, Sean Kaplan, I mean, he talks about it. He was right up there with you around that 150 number and he paid it all back. And it's just one of those things where I believe that you might have got yourself there alone, but you're never going to get yourself out of it alone. So how do you get community? How do you get around the people? How do you have the conversations? And how do you align with that inner circle once you've realized it and understood it in depth from looking inward, right? Looking inward to yourself.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Sorry to cut you off. You just, it was like, I haven't thought about that. And I was like, man, yep. Actually, that's impact right there. I didn't even think of it, you know?
Well, it's just people, like you said, they don't want to feel alone. You know, I'm sure if when I was in the AA rooms, I mean, I thought I was like an idiot. Like, who drinks a bottle of wine in the morning and gets Maker's Mark and throws it in their Diet Coke and finishes the day off with vodka? I'm like, who does that? So I'm just like, man, I don't know how I'm going to be in this room. So I sit down and, man, I was like a little peon over there compared to some of these professionals. They were just like, what? Wine? Ah, what a loser. Try Jack Daniels at 5 a.m. and your bottle's not there and you're running around. Like, I was like, holy smokes, man. Yeah, you are really messed up. But it also builds you to be like, you are not alone. I haven't met a problem. Like, there are problems that I deal with people, and I love when people share. That's what I do. There's a lot of challenges in our real estate community right now. There's not a lot of transactions. People say, what's going on in real estate? We got a lot of unemployment. Why? It's because there's not a lot of homes for sale. When you have reduced transactions, you have reduced employment. And so there's a lot of unemployment. And they say, I never really thought about it like that. And guess what? Some of those people who are really good, they're doing two sides of it. So you're even lower in the numbers of unemployment. But it's a great opportunity to grow. It's one of the best years to grow in real estate right now. If you are around the right people, you know how to overcome objections, you can crush it right now in real estate. And right now we are doing that in a way that I never thought was possible.
Well, the biggest thing is you are helping those folks in your community, and those folks that are lonely, don't have an opportunity to share comfortably and safely and to relate. You're giving them that option. I mean, that's why you're attracting some of these big hitters as well, because when someone falls off a team and they don't have the right support, they spiral. And you're picking up talent right now. Like you're picking up great agents and giving them a skill set and an opportunity that they never even would have thought of, and they were never going to get where they used to be because that person didn't believe or care or go through the struggles and the markets and the downturns that you've gone through, man. Like I can speak on this because Brock and I have such in-depth conversations, and I mean, we've known each other for a few years now, and I've just watched and saw, and I mean, shit, Brock was telling me the other day, like someone couldn't pay rent and he got a deal for them, and just now he's splitting 50-50, and he closed it, and that person's going to make $30,000 and support themselves for probably the next 8 months. Like, that's real change. That's real community. That's real communication. That's real care. And I think it all comes back to that topic of we need community when we're lonely, right?
Mhm.
And that's why we built Impact Effect. I mean, Impact Effect community is for the Jim Morris 7 years ago
Yep.
when Jim was struggling and thinking about quitting and thinking about taking his life and thinking about drugs and consuming a lot of alcohol and running around and broken relationships and pointing the finger and maybe being a little narcissistic in a lot of that, right? Like, at the end of the day, community is what pulled me out of it. People pulled me out of it. Resources pulled me out of it. People who care, people who love on me. And I'm just so elated. I'm excited that we can now offer this with our launch live today. Like, this is awesome. I'm just fired up. We got amazing people like Brock. We had all these amazing speakers this morning. We got more this afternoon. And again, I'm just grateful that we can build something with so much power and so much backing and so many people that align with community to then be able to enhance people's experience so they don't feel that level of loneliness and they belong to something, right? Like, and I'm sure you feel this similar, Brock, like when people join your team, they probably feel like they belong.
Well, and Rachel had something to say, so I'll go back to you, Rachel, in a minute, because she was going to say something. But I used to work at a gang-related school here in West Charlotte, and actually used to be Highlanders or whatever, one of the gang shows. And good or bad, people join because they want to feel loved. They want to feel part of something. Tony Robbins talks about love and the emotion that what people gravitate to. Like, nobody wants to be alone, where they truly want to feel some sort of embracement. And so when you're in gangs, they're not getting it at their family at home, so they go to a different family to be able to feel it and to embrace it. Love, to me, is the most greatest gift that you can give somebody. You can't go to Amazon and say, I'd like to buy a thing. Do you have a package of love, please? I missed giving it to my son, so I'm just going to order it and give it to him and have it on his bed when he wakes up. Like, you can't do that. Love is the only true, genuine feeling that you can give, and you can't give it artificially. It is your true, authentic self. So when my son, even my daughter at 12 years old, when I drop him off at school, says, Dad, I love you, it is the best part of my day. It might be 3 seconds long, but that I love you carries me through the rest of the day. When he comes home and I pick him up from school and he gives me a hug and says, Dad, can we go to the park? It's my second best part of my day. It doesn't matter what deal I close or how many listings you get. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Because without that, what are you doing it for? There's a lot of rich people who aren't happy. I'd rather just be poor and happy.
There's rich and then there's wealthy. I feel like it's two different mindsets. And what I was going to ask you was,
I knew you had a question. I knew it.
When you finally started to be honest, did it get a little bit easier the more and more you could speak your truth? Did it sort of lift that burden of the mask that you were putting on every day, pretending like everything was fine, you're not an alcoholic, you can do the thing? Talk to me about that moment of like finally being able to be honest and start telling the truth? Does it sort of unravel that weight that's always either like on your shoulders or on your chest because you know you're not living the truth, or when you weren't living the truth?
So really good question. And you might think, well, that seems like an easy answer, but it's not, because when you're drinking, you're masking a lot of emotions. There's really, you're also trying to figure out what is true, what is not true in your own self. Am I in a real relationship? Now my true feelings are coming out. I didn't know what crying was for a long period of time. I didn't know what being upset was, because every time you have an emotion, you just mask it into a drinking. So you just kind of stay even keel, and you just like, I'll just get over it. And then the next day you're working on yourself for about 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to drinking. So the truth takes a lot longer for actually it to come out. And then when the truth comes out, so does the baggage. When you open up a suitcase, you can't just open up one side. They both open up at the same time. So the good comes out, and so does the bad. The problem is you're trying to figure out yourself and what's good and what's bad and everything else. Eventually, as they say, keep your side of the street clean. When you stop making bonehead decisions and doing stupid things, you're not putting as much into your suitcase as much. You can take it out, you can start washing it, cleaning it, hanging it up, and you're not filling it back up with nonsense. But it takes time, Rachel, for me, I should say, to unravel that, because you go through embarrassment, you go through like victimhood, you go through, what did I do? I mean, I lost my marriage. Both my cars were repossessed, house foreclosed on, credit cards destroyed. My credit was 472 at one point. Like, you're completely broken. So the truth sometimes is not fun to face, because you're like, I effing did this to myself. But it does get a lot better, because if it didn't, why would we continue on the path that we're on? But it takes time. It took me a while. Like, I cry more than I mean, I'm more emotional. I'm more loving. I used to not say I love you to even my siblings. I'm like, I'm tough. But, I'm not like that anymore. I embrace opportunities. God gave me an opportunity for a second life. He really did. And the truth is huge. Like, I don't get it. Like, people can look at my cell phone now, my family, significant others. I'm not worried about pictures. I'm not worried about what the hell was said. Whose name is it? Where did it come from? Like, I'm not worried about a single thing. Like, you can look at my emails. I mean, there's parts of my life that I didn't even want to look at. But you got to grow through it, and you got to face it. And, they have this saying, fear is face everything and run, or face everything and rise. And you can rise up from this, and I'm living proof of it. But it is great to just be free and not to have a lot of clutter. And I can really enjoy my life, and I can enjoy my kids. I can enjoy everything around me and not have to worry about a single thing. I mean, obviously I got to worry, but like nothing about like, what did I do? What stupid decisions did I make?
That's perfect. Jim, do you have more questions? Did you want to wrap? What did you want to do?
I just wanted to ask one more question to Brock, and then we'll wrap this up, because I know we're a little bit over time. Brock, you got a minute for another question, or you got to run?
Yeah, I had it from 3 to 4, so you could ask me whatever you like.
Sweet. Brock, you've been on a bunch of stages. You've built out programs. You've been a life coach. You've built a real estate team. You own a VA company. You've got a team of VAs on your team. You manage multiple employees. You manage 2 kiddos. Ex-wife.
That's like the hardest job.
You got a new dog, Leo. Like, a lot of people, including myself at one point, think, okay, there's just too much going on. I can't do all the things. I can't build this company. I can't turn this side hustle into a true business. I can't leave my corporate job. I can't get the dog, even though I love that dog. And I've been thinking about that dog since mine died at age 10 and I'm 50, right? We hear all the excuses. And again, not pointing the finger here. I was making those for a long time, consecutively and consistently. But my question to you today, as we wrap up, is all the things you're doing, all the things you're building, obviously wouldn't happen if you were still drinking. So let's throw that one out of the equation. We get that. We understand that. But what's the one thing that you believe allows you, besides drinking, besides God, but what's that skill set? What's that mentality? What's that framework? What's that strategy? What's that thing that you believe has allowed you to build such an empire and build such a team and to own these different companies and do these different things in real estate as well and outside of it? What do you think is the one thing that's most important that you could share with the viewers today and the Impact Effect community of how you do all of it and hold it together?
It is, it's hard to articulate because not everybody's going to feel, but I can only say what it does to me. I'm competitive as hell. I don't want to lose, and I want to prove every freaking person wrong, including even my mom. Because there's many times that my mom wants to keep me in a comfort zone, like, you're doing too much, Brock. You're burning the candle from both ends. You're going to get sick. You're going to get tired. You know, you can't keep doing this. You know, eventually it's going to get caught up to you. You got to do this. And to be honest with you, in a very indirect way, they're motivating me. They're pushing me to do things. When I left school, when I left being a teacher in 2000, I was going to leave in 2007. The market crashed. I got in real estate, started a property management company. I left teaching in 2012. I've been out of it for 12 years. I lost my license for an entire year due to a lawsuit for $76,000 of embezzlement, completely flat broke on my ass. They asked me if I was going back to teaching. I was like, hell no. That's what you all want me to do. But that's not me. I'm going to keep fighting, kicking, crawling, doing whatever it takes. One of the lines that I love that people ask Muhammad Ali, how many sit-ups do you do? He says, I don't know. Like, what do you mean you don't know? He goes, because I don't start counting until I start feeling intense pain. And to me, I don't start really feel like I'm growing until I got a shit ton of things going on in my life. And I'm freaking like, okay, all right. Whew. All right, let's really dive deep. Let's roll up our sleeves now that we're really getting into it. And people, if they don't think, if you're not doing, if you tell somebody your dream, if you tell somebody what you got going on, and they're not like, damn, that's crazy, then you're probably not the person I should be telling my dream to. Because when I talk to other people and they're like, I tell them my stuff, they're like, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Just like it was in AA. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. You're drinking wine. That's cool. What are you, sissy? Like, try this. But that's who you want to be around. You want to be like the crazy lunatics. If you want to grow, if for those of you that are listening right now, if you want to make an impact in this world, in your society, in your family, in your financial freedom, and do what you want to do and not have to worry about money, you got to do crazy things. And you got to win every freaking day. And then I ask you, how do you measure it? Because that's my biggest goal. How do you know you won today? How do you know? You got a deal? Whoop-de-doo. There's somebody else who got probably 5 deals today. Did you win with your family? Did you win with your wife or your husband? Did you win with your dog? Did you take your dog out? Did you put money to charity? I don't miss a single first communion with my son. I make sure he goes. I'm busy, but he's going to get his first communion. I'm a Catholic boy. Oh, Dad's too busy. No, Dad's not too busy. Dad will prioritize when he'll go to bed. Because I want to win in every aspect of my life. Because I'm one of those crazy competitors. So I don't know if that answers your question, Jim, but that's for me that's what it takes for me. That's my one thing. It's just competition to win.
Let's go. Let's go. You got me fired up. And you did the start the fire. That's like my anchor when I'm feeling low energy. That gets me rolling. So when I seen you doing it, I was like, should I ask another question? Should we do this for another hour?
Jim, don't push it.
Um,
Go ahead.
With what you were just saying, you sparked an idea in my head. And it's around that level of competitiveness. How do you encourage others to be competitive? And I promise, last question.
Well, that's why I preface, for me, this is what it is. Not everybody is going to be as competitive. Not everybody is going to have that drive, because we're all wired differently. We're all different. But I feel that there's something inside each and every single one of us that we have. If I sat down with Rachel a little bit more and had a conversation with her, what gets you going? Like, why do you do your shows every morning, Rachel? Why are you on here with Jim? Why are you doing what you're doing? What's it with you? What are you trying to get at? What are you trying to aim for? Who are you? Are you doing this for you? Are you doing it for somebody else? I think it all goes back to, it's an inside job. It's inside of ourselves for whatever it is. Jim, it might be your kids. It might be for you to prove everybody that. I mean, to be honest with you, Jim, I still to this day can't believe what you did with the events, and let alone Rachel. When I saw he's doing a second one, because I know the hell he went through the first one. I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's going to do another one of these. Like, I can't believe this guy's going to do it. But you know what you did? You motivated me. So to answer your question, it just really depends on what you got. You got to learn about yourself. What transformed me when I wrote my book, and I was just like, you got to understand yourself. You need to know. You take the 5 love languages. Take the DISC assessment of Tony Robbins or John Maxwell. Go take the 5 Geniuses by Patrick Lenciani. Frickin' know yourself. What do the athletes do? They understand the game inside out and backwards. Tom Brady said when he played against the Kansas City Chiefs, he knew the Kansas City Chiefs defense better than the defensive coordinator did. He knew exactly what they were doing, and that's why they dominated. So if you understand yourself, what irks you, what gets you fired up, what makes you sad, how do you respond in challenging situations when somebody yells at you, curses at you? Understand yourself. So once you understand yourself, for those of you who are trying to figure it out, talk to somebody. Talk to a friend of yours. Have a conversation and ask them heart-to-heart questions. And be open to criticism, because they're helping you. They're not making fun of you. I get mad. I think I told you, Jim, or I told somebody I had to make some hard decisions here on my team. And I asked Jim. I said, Jim, my gut tell me this, and I want you to be honest with me. Don't tell me an answer I want to hear. And you, don't worry, Jim. He told me. But it's important that you're honest with people who are asking you serious questions about themselves, because you're only impeding their growth. You're only slowing it down. So that would be my answer, is just really understanding yourself. Read books, study yourself, ask questions about what people think about you.
Such a great point, because you're hitting on things around what we're doing in the impact effect community, right? Like, we want you to understand how you learn, so we can build content around how you're absorbing content, right? So are you kinesthetic? Do you learn by doing? Do you read? Do you write? Is it visual? Is it auditory? So in doing that, and us putting each member through certain assessments, you are understanding yourself at a high level, so you can continue to press the play button, because you know it's going to turn on, right? And how can you show up at the best for you if you don't know yourself? So impact effect community, we're going to have those assessments. We're going to leverage the DISC. We're going to talk through and train on it. I think DISC is like $19.99 on Tony Robbins' website, and it's
$25. Inflation on 20 tariffs on it. There's tariffs on the DISC. $25 now.
But to your point, I think it's so important and impactful for an individual's growth to truly understand their strengths and to continue to press on those buttons and build upon them. And you were talking about like, where are you going? Where do you want to end up? And it just reminded me again of an exercise that we do in the community with our members. It's like, what's your business mission and what's your personal mission? Right. And those two can be the same. Most likely they're drastically different with some breakthroughs of alignment. And when you think about that and when you analyze it, you start to know yourself and you start to know where you want to go. So
Most
thank
people
you,
in
Rock.
life,
Thank you.
most people in life, they have the car, they have the gas, they have the vehicle, well, car and vehicle. They have the GPS apparatus, they have the Wi-Fi, they have everything they need in life. They don't have an address though. They don't know where they're going. So they drive around all day mistaking busyness from production. And so they're like, man, I did it. I drove around all day today. Like, well, where the hell did you go? You're in the same damn driveway. You got to have an address in life to be able to know what direction. And sometimes that's saying, hey, Rachel, I need some help. What do you see in me? What is it that you got? So I can start to understand what direction I need to go in. So thank you. That's what triggered in my head when you said direction.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on today. We appreciate your support around Impact Effect. If you want to just take a moment and let people know how they can find you, and we'll wrap up, man.
Sounds good. Rachel.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I got to talk to Rachel.
Uh-oh.
And I always see her in the morning, so it's nice, Rachel. And you have my mom's name, so I always know Rachel.
I love that. You'll have to have us on your morning show, Brock.
I do. I'm actually looking for guests. I am looking for guests.
Are you?
I just got the message from my podcast team. They're like, Brock, we need some more guests. I was like, all right. So
like, no problem.
I'm looking for guests to figure it out Friday. So
fabulous. So if people want to contact you or they want more information, is this graphic accurate? Do you want to add anything to it?
That wonderful graphic, Jim, he went into my Instagram. He knows I got to work on my Instagram. So he put it right up there. So yes, Instagram, I just changed my notifications on my phone. So now they come to me now, but there's Instagram you can check me out at Broker Brock Zevian. Most of my stuff all is on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. You'll get all my videos. You get all my shows. You get my podcasts. I do about 37 different coaching events as well online. So everything you have is right there. You can learn about me, my family, my stories on there as well. So you check out my YouTube page and my Facebook page. I have a private page, Brock Zevian's Mindset Motivational page. You can look me up on my private Facebook as well. And that's it all.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to take you off the stage. You can stay logged in for a second while we're just going to wrap up. So Jim, do you want to talk about the community really quickly to wrap us up, to get us into our break before our next group? Do you want to talk about the next group first? Where do you want to go?
Let's talk about the community. So today we've got the bonuses for you. We talked about that earlier. If you missed it, we have a discounted membership. We now have 3 left. So thank you to Jennifer, who signed up in the last 28 minutes. So we have a discounted membership. We have 3 left out of the 25. And also, if you sign up and get that bonus, you will get a business audit, a strategy session, and a strategic content plan. So we want to pour it all out. If you spent time with us today, if you're feeling that level of loneliness, that level of fear, if you're looking for solutions, if you're looking for a community of people that you feel safe around, that you feel like you belong in, check us out. Let us know. Grab your membership, because we are pouring everything into this community. And we're also giving you Go High Level if you join as well. Go High Level is an amazing customer relationship management software. It also gives you the opportunity to SMS text, email campaigns, automations, workflows, calendars, send out surveys, create forms, landing pages, chat widgets, AI bots, funnels, follow-ups, pipeline management, dashboards. I mean, there's probably 4,000 more things that I can't even think of, but we're going to give you a Go High level subscription with your enrollment and joining us in the Impact Effect community, as well as those additional bonuses and discounts on the price of your membership if you grab it before we hit the 26th member today. So if you are going to join us later this evening, we're going to be coming back for about 5 hours later to do more lives and chat with some amazing folks. As you can see up on the screen, we've got a great lineup, but I would advise you to not wait until later this evening if you have any inclination or feeling to enroll in Impact Effect community. And I say that because we probably will hit that 25 mark, and you may not get the opportunity to experience some of those bonuses. So I want the best for you. I want the most for you, but we've got to be realistic. We can't give away the house. And I'm excited to jump back in. I'm excited to do another session later. Producer Rachel is crushing it today with all the graphics, the introduction video. Like, come on, let's go.
Let's go. All right. So we're going to wrap up right now. We'll be back in a couple of hours. Again, this is our next session. If you've been watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Jim's LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the places, we'll be there again. So many things to learn. Again, let's hit those bonuses, impacteffectcommunity.com. It's very simple to follow. Thank you. We're going to take a little break though, because we need one.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. All right, everybody. Thank you.